I am the Contrarian, and this is my world.
Hi, I'm Saket Modi. We run this organization, a geeky organization which deals with security for a lot of corporates, a lot of government agencies, and I'm here today to take on Rajiv, and I'm of the favor that it's still okay to use your devices if you use it intelligently.
Welcome back. Now, what do I say welcome back to? This is a follow-up show. It's only at your request. But the way to say welcome back to part 2 now is completely changed. We did a show, like I did say, even in the documentary, we did a show on hacking and all the vulnerabilities that we have for normal everyday life. When that show was broadcast, the response we got back was huge. Some people called it a nightmare that was actually unfolding in front of their very eyes on their TV screen. Some people said every deep-rooted fear of theirs came alive. So I don't know what to call this as part 2, but let's just call it Nightmare of Your Digital Life Part 2. And we're going to do a lot more than what we just showed you. So you demonstrated the fact that you can actually hack into at network level and make a call, and it would seem like it's coming from somebody else's number.
Absolutely.
You can even send an SMS from that person's number. It would look like you've got it. I mean, this could create serious havoc in this world, right? Now, I understand that it's done and it can be done, and every one of us is vulnerable to it. But the potential of using that and misusing that is vast, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that a dangerous sign for the fact that most people think of hacking as intruding the privacy of people that they know and want to know just far too much about?
See, we live in this falsely committed world of security where if we are spending money, we assume that we get the security, while the security when we spend money on any, whether it's a Samsung or on an Apple or a Micromax, the 50% part of the entire security lies in the hands of the developers, while the other half is us. You know, we can't be foolish. If we lock our house and go ahead and give the key to a stranger, it's foolish for us to do that. It doesn't matter which lock you have. It can be $1 million lock also.
You've given away the key.
Absolutely. So that is almost the scenario that we are facing today. And people do not understand that. So rather than, I feel, anybody, you don't have to be a geek to know this, but understanding how vulnerable you are when you're using it as an extension of yourself is very, very crucial.
So if you do know this can happen, then you're not blindly doing things where you live under the illusion of
that everything is
unsafe and secure. But let's again get down to one other part which becomes really critical when you talk about all things security, right? You know, by imparting this information and this knowledge, we're also leaving people now more scared with no solutions. And that I find to be the part that is the most scary. I mean, in the same way as we give an example, this is what could happen to you.
Sure.
I mean, when the cops show us a documentary of drunk driving and they show 80 truly bad accidents, and then they say, don't drink. It leaves me absolutely mind-boggled to think that's the solution. Tell people, be secure. No, I'm not going to do that on this show.
Absolutely.
So what I want to do is, first I'm going to find out from you, and this is not for those people who will say, I want to do an unhacking course or a hacking course. I want to safeguard myself by investing the next 1 year of my life educating and studying. I'm saying this is for people that lead busy lives.
Right.
Things that they have to do every single day. And without spending more than 10, 15 seconds of their life between awareness and doing something right. I'm going to come up with some of the solutions you've given, right? So one is an app that your own company has made, but now let's find out from you what would be the biggest thing somebody can do every day in their daily life, besides the one you gave last time, which is if you download an app, be very careful what permissions you're giving away. What else? I mean, is there a battery of 4 or 5 things I should keep in my mind? Like, should I be walking around with my Wi-Fi on? Should my Bluetooth be on? What about NFC? What about all these technologies that we're using to constantly talk with wearable technology? Is this okay? Are there ways to keep us less vulnerable? What's the greatest fear I should have?
So, so quantitatively giving you an initial answer to, what are the ways by which you ideally should be securing yourself. So right from the basics, of course, right from not handing over your phone to especially innocent looking people.
Especially to innocent, okay.
That's
how
one
they,
social engineering.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that's how they recruit them? Okay, very innocent, you're part of my hacking team, right? Okay.
A lot of people try to do that, but yes, they're like obviously not giving away your phone, because you've seen what happens in 20 seconds of your phone in somebody's hand. It can really be devastating forever. So that's number one. Number two is, of course, not try to stay as disconnected as you can. I know that's a very difficult choice to make in a day.
You know, that's really the Hobson's choice, right? I mean, you're saying don't use technology the way it was intended.
Right.
Curtail it. It's
Correct.
very difficult
So-
for people.
so let's-
but what do you mean by that?
So that brings me to the main solution around all of these individual quantitative solutions. I feel the most important thing that a person who's using, and everybody is using the internet, the mobile phone and the laptops today, instead of thinking of how can you secure your own self, I feel there needs to be a shift in the way they think. If you assume that the data that you're putting on the phone, it can be only in your inbox, it can be a draft message, it can be a personal message being sent to your friend of yours on Facebook, it can be a personal email. If you assume that that is already being monitored, it's already being watched. So rather than thinking that how can I secure this, you're assuming that this is already being watched on, and that's why I need to take the right precaution. I feel that change can really change everybody's
So you're
life.
saying this is a perception change. This is
Absolutely.
a mindset change, that every single thing you do digitally,
Is being
assume
monitored.
it's being watched.
Absolutely.
Wow, okay. So this brings back a whole different phrase in my mind, maybe from the 16th century, people who live in glass houses, okay? So people who live in glass houses, so your digital world is like a glass house. Every single thing you're doing on your digital information, communication and messaging, assume it to be available to all.
Everybody.
So therefore you'll be able to take better decisions in life. Okay.
And if you're in a glass house, change your clothes in the basement.
That's true. I mean, the glass house has a glass floor too, so make sure that people aren't standing on top of you when you're doing that, right?
Yes.
You know, I really hope that this show and our purpose this time was not to leave people hanging with fear, but to be able to answer a few questions. But this last one that you've said has made me really think right now. So will I be making some drastic changes in my life is what I'm going to be doing, and I think so should you. It's very interesting to think that the perception and state of mind is more important than any digital firewall and any which way to secure yourself. If every single thing that you do on your digital phone, on your digital tablet, on your digital laptop, think everything digital, think everything electronic, think everything device. If everything you assume is available to others, maybe you'll be more secure than ever before. Thank you, and hopefully your nightmare that we started off with part one has become a bit dreamlike now. We'll see you next week right here on the show. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
I am the Contrarian, and this is my world.